Does he have to wash all the dirty clothes before he games? Funny enough, there are certain times.
Yeah, it's part of my lease actually.
Today, joining me for the podcast is my little brother Anthony. Been playing games as long as I've known him. Anthony, you want to do like a little introduction about yourself, or like maybe just like why we're playing Night Rain?
Um, well, yeah, I'm Anthony. I'm 2.5 years younger than Zammy here. I've been playing games like you said since we've been growing up. The reason we're on Night Rain is partially due to my long best friend John, or Johnski on Twitch, as some of you may know him. But he kind of got me into Souls-like games, and then when Night Rain released, it was like a multiplayer experience for it. It was kind of impressed me a bit, so just been playing it. Haven't been playing it recently though. To Elden Ring and start playing a little bit there, but I don't know. I like this game. It's very fun. I like the different characters and abilities and everything that you can get using a Elden Ring format, which is what I'm familiar with. So it's pretty easy to know all the items and everything. It's got a good sense of familiarity to it. But yeah,
What type of games did you like grow up playing?
dude, first game I ever remember being played, which you might have to help me out here. I think it was Battlefield, or what was it called?
Battlefront?
No, the first it was like Call of Duty format on the PS2. It's
Was
like,
World War or something?
yeah, it was like one of the first like open games, man. I remember being a little kid and y'all would plug the controller into like the extra cartridge slot to pretend that I was playing. So I don't know if that counts as the first game I played, because I don't know if I was actually ever playing it. But that was probably the first game, and then after that it was the Wii, man. The Wii set up so much for me, like Wii Sports, Super Smash Bros, whole 9 yards. Mario Kart, that was my shit growing up. Playing on the DS too, man. Got into whenever the Switch came out, I got a little bit into Breath of the Wild. Played that for a good bit. Kind of like that open feel, open world type game that has cool character abilities. That's really what seemed to attract me the most. Was those RPG games. Learn about the character, teaches more about yourself as you go through the experience. Always like learning something whenever I'm playing a game. But yeah, definitely the Wii growing up was a big one. I did play a little bit of Oblivion. Buddy who kind of got me into Oblivion a little bit, but never actually finished playing it, finished seeing it out.
Okay. So you grew up playing the Wii, PlayStation 2. What was probably like your favorite like early game as a kid?
First game that I like really connected with, that I really put a bunch of time into, it's got to be Apex, and that was definitely like the first game that I played that I put just all my time into, just try to get better, learning different strategies, playing with a lot of people who were a lot better at the game than me to pick up their strats. And I like social games. I don't like playing games mainly by myself. Kind of goes contrary to my love for RPGs, but specifically with the Miyazaki and FromSoft games.
The Miyazaki games. You fell in love with those
Yeah,
as well.
dude, I just such a fan of them. They've always kind of held my heart because of the multiplayer aspect to it. You get big and strong with your friends and everything. And yeah, the multiplayer aspect has always been important to me with pretty much any game. I like playing with friends. I like to make it a social thing rather than sitting playing games by yourself. Always like making friends and such. But yeah, anything multiplayer kind of holds my heart for any game, especially being able, like I said, to level up with your friends and get stronger together and everything like that.
Okay, so you grew up on like the Wii and stuff like that. You said that multiplayer games or like social games have definitely been what you go for whenever you play them.
Ouch.
What has been like your most recent game that you've just found yourself going back to and that you've like?
Oh, definitely Elden Ring, man. Just new game 10 with my buddy there, Johnny, or my dad, I guess I should say.
Okay.
But yeah, he got me. He always finds a way to get me back into the games, man, and reliving those good memories, man. It's always a blast.
Let's go. Why do you enjoy playing games? What do games mean to you? Like,
They're just a way to kind of relax at the end of the day, hop on, and like I said, I like playing with other people, so it's kind of like social hour, you know. I don't have to
do you do social things
work or.
outside of games, or is it strictly just in games?
Well, I like to play hockey. I like to get involved in sports and everything, and especially snowboarding. That's kind of been my new fascination. But this guy got to jump. Okay. But playing sports and playing games are kind of like go hand in hand. So once I'm physically exhausted, I might be dead to storm, Loki. I'm a dip out of here. Go ring. But yeah, I like to play sports. It's pretty much my only other hobby. I like working out, going to the gym, everything like that. I think it's important to have another stream of dopamine that isn't just games because I find that it kind of balances your life a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of see games as a healthy addition to your life. You know, shouldn't consume all of it. You know, being social outside of a virtual world is important, and taking care of your body is as well. But outside of sports and video games, those are really the only two main things I do outside of just like self-care, spiritual wise, or taking care of myself cosmetically. Excited, we have a snowboarding trip upcoming actually, first week of December, which you will be on as well. So I'm looking forward to that. That seems to be I'm just there to shred pow, man.
What would you say is your favorite game at this day and age? You're saying that you're playing Elden Ring is probably the one that you always come back to, but what would you say is like your favorite game of all time?
Here's my thing, right? I feel like living in the same time period as Miyazaki is the same thing as living in the same time as a great artist like Shakespeare or Monet or, you know, LeBron, Michael Jordan. Same category in my eyes, man.
Okay.
When it comes to video games, there has yet to be one that has impressed me as much as Elden Ring. Just with the lore, the storytelling, the pacing, it is probably the best game that I've ever played in my life. Really don't think there will be another game like it unless they made a sequel, but I doubt they're interested in that, especially with the release of Night Rain. And as much as I like Night Rain, it definitely doesn't hold a candle to Elden Ring. I mean, the lore is very cool and the gameplay is very fun. There's a lot of new things to it, but Elden Ring is just one of those games you can just go back and play through in a single night if you're good enough. And it just is a game that I always return to. And I don't think I ever won't. So for the best game ever made, I will probably say Elden Ring for sure. That I've ever played, yeah, not ever made. I'm sure there's some really great games out there, but when it comes to like quality, you know, I put a lot of time into Apex, and that was a very awesome game. And you know, it has a little bit of a storyline. You know, you kind of get a good idea of all the characters, where they come from, and everything. But having a game so open and you can truly do anything you want, really, is just took my heart and soul when I played it for the first time, and it's just freaking amazing game. Yeah, if I had to pick a close second, I will say Super Smash Bros. On the Wii.
Oh yeah.
That game does. I've never played a game that can bring people together so quickly and get them excited to play video games, regardless of the setting. Like, it could be social. It could just be you and your homeboy lighting up one day, sparking up, and you just want to go back and play a game. But same with Mario Kart. Mario Kart's probably up there for the Wii specifically. It's just so much fun to play. This much.
Oh, I just got smoked.
Oh my god, man. He said so nice how to do it twice. Shit.
He said so nice how to do it twice as well.
Like, come on, bro. This fucking guy.
Put us both on the ground. Put us on our crawling.
Yo, I got beef. I will say also, like, for video games, like what they mean to me, at the most basic form, it's like I got a lot of brothers, come from a big family, 11 people and everything, and I had 5 older brothers. Really only grew up with about 3 of them though. But I think that's probably where it stems from. My love for video games comes from just competitiveness with my brothers and playing games with them, being a kid and doing all that stuff. I was really big into Halo for a while too, growing up. But yeah, just being competitive with my brothers has always been something that I've always liked. But since our interests have grown apart, we've gotten older and everything, it's hard to do other things. Like, you can only run around and hit trees with sticks for so long before you grow up.
Right.
And I find that video games kind of connects people.
What initially got you into playing video games?
Oh, definitely my brothers. I don't think I would have played games if it wasn't for them, especially you. I've always been someone I kind of always played games with, and got me into my latest fascination, including Apex and Halo as well, playing through the campaign and everything. But yeah, definitely I would say other people. I don't think I would have been as fascinated with video games like growing up. I never really thought much of them, but I got older and kind of saw everybody going different ways. It was a good way of staying in contact with them. And but yeah, definitely just playing games, especially with you. I know there's definitely a few games that we played in the past that have definitely made an impact on different things, the way I see the world now, growing up, remembering all those times and stuff. So it's kind of nostalgic to go back and play games and stuff like right now. One thing I've always hated though is that you were better than me at like pretty much every game.
I put a lot of time
like
into
growing up, dude. Like, all right, we're gonna glaze a Zammy here for a second. This dude picked up Elden Ring and fucking shit on that and was like, that shit wasn't even that hard afterwards. Like, and that is like one of the most complained about games for its difficulty and everything. Same with Apex. Whenever you used to play back in the day, man, this guy was a demon. Still is, but
what's your future aspirations with gaming, or like do you plan to still play games in the future? What does that look like? Are you looking forward to a certain game?
Temporarily, I like to take a good break from games. I might be selling my console soon, but what console? My PC.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely plan to return to games. It's just I find that if I'm forced to fill in the time that I usually spent playing games with something else, it could be more productive. And so that's what my current situation is. But I definitely plan to return to games. I love video games. I think they're really cool. They're a good addition to your life. But if you spend too much time on them, they can kind of consume your life, and that's not healthy sometimes. Most times, also. Everything in moderation, for sure. If you do too much of anything, it's going to be bad for you.
Okay, so you plan to take a break from games just because you're going to have other things that are more important in your life to do at the moment.
Yeah, I got to study for stuff, and like I've been working on getting certified to work like in HVAC and stuff like that, and that's something that I definitely want to focus on.
What would you say is your favorite genre of games? Because I've seen you do like backroom stuff and games along those lines.
Oh yeah, for sure. It depends on what I'm feeling for that day and what I'm feeling that day or that night. But typically, it depends on my mood. But typically, if I'm looking just to have a good time, I like those. I like those more difficult games that you kind of have to grind at and persevere through.
Like Diablo, where it's like you grind your character up, or like difficult games.
Typical, more just like Souls-like games and games that don't just give you everything front. It seems to be popular to just kind of have whatever you need to kind of survive, which seems to be like the theme for like more like multiplayer shooters and stuff like that, where you kind of just like get everything you're gonna need and you can get like better gear and stuff, but the progression is more repetitive. It's not like you're doing a quest line and you're learning more about the game while you're progressing through it. It's kind of just like get 20 headshots or 1,000 headshots, depending on whatever it is, and then you get like a skin for it or whatnot. I like having progression that's more meaningful, I guess I should say. But whenever I'm like looking to have a good time, I definitely enjoy horror games and multiplayer games, similar to like Repo or Lethal Company. Those are some pretty good examples. But yeah, if I'm not looking to take anything too seriously, I definitely like to go for something a little more fun, and that can mean scary too. I like horror games. Backrooms games have been pretty entertaining to play, and stuff of that variety where, especially with like the hot mics and proximity chat, it just makes it so much funnier and much more enjoyable to play. So I would say that's probably the attraction with Lethal Company is the entertainment is your friends that you're playing with.
What are probably like the most nostalgic games that you grew up on? Because you said you played some Apex and stuff, but that's more like newer stuff. What are some like OG games that you're like, oh dude, these are classic?
OG, I would definitely say probably the most OG game I can think of is playing Super Mario Bros. On the DS.
Oh, so you play games on the DS as well?
Playing Halo and stuff with my older brothers, like that's probably the most OG. Halo 1, especially 3.
What would you say is your favorite character to play as in this game?
Oh, definitely Executor, just because of the parry that I never utilize. But just being able to parry any game in, you can parry. That's all I need. That's really what probably got me the most sold on this game, was just introducing that aspect.
Oh, I did the work. Think deep. What are all the games you have played?
Dude. Playing tanks
on the
Wii. Yeah, they had like a little game where you run around in a little tank and you shoot and the bullets will like reflect off walls and stuff. I've been seeing clips on TikTok of like people who like still play this game, and dude, they're like insane. But I remember playing it on the Wii. I think it was on vacation. We were at the beach. And I remember playing this game so much. I think it was like Wii Play or something.
Was there ever like a specific moment or a specific game in time that made you like really like a specific game or instance of like playing a game that you were like, oh dude, this was so much fun?
Learning movement tech in Apex. That was probably something I've never really done before. Just spending hours learning different strategies.
Who was your favorite character in Apex then?
I mean, that one's tough. I played a lot of different characters, but I like the more aggressive approach, so I was more so inclined to probably Pathfinder, Tane, but it kind of switched categories a little bit because with growing popularity of certain streamers and stuff, utilizing legends in different ways, there was one that stood, above the rest, and I switched over, started playing a lot of Wattson, and I will say she stole my heart, and I started playing her a ton, and that was kind of my shtick. So I'd probably say Wattson, just because that was the most recent.
Okay. Did you ever have any like heirlooms in the game or anything along those lines? I know that those were.
Yeah, I had a few. I had actually my first one you bought me, and there's a clip out there somewhere of us getting our first win with my heirloom, and it was a big moment, and that was awesome. That was definitely probably one of the best moments I've had playing video games.
Who was the first one that you got?
For Octane, it was like the butterfly knife in Apex. Definitely the most amount of money ever spent in a video game for me. But yeah, the thing was sick. And then I ended up getting a few more. I got Wattson's.
What was your favorite moment in Night Rain, the game that we're playing right now?
Ooh, so playing played with Cody, or you may know him as Lazy. Playing with him and you, defeating the final boss of this game, the night aspect, and that was probably the coolest moment in this game, because the hype and everything for him was so awesome, and that fight is just fucking so cinematic. Favorite boss from this game is probably Libra. The Everdark version of him was kind of cool. It was like an enhanced version, supposed to make the boss a lot harder. but it basically just like added difficulty to it
Hmm.
by getting a bunch of AIs to go around with random builds and start fighting you. It's kind of terrible, man. It kind of sucked, but his first version was very fun to fight. Very difficult.
Are there any? I know that you play a lot of mobile games. Are there any mobile games in particular?
Oh, dude, Clash Royale. Clash Royale is probably the best mobile game I've ever played, for sure. Just with, I mean, I can't even really defend it nearly as well as Elden Ring, because it definitely is flawed. It's a very pay-to-win game, but it's still fun.
What sources of entertainment do you have? Like what do you find entertaining? If games are entertaining, like they're an entertainment of sorts. Do you also watch shows? You watch shows. What type of shows? Or like any other aspects of like entertainment?
Yeah, I mean, I like anime a lot. Seems to be my newest genre that's kind of taken me. The storytelling and the overall depth they can have to it. You know, some people say it's just cartoons, but dang man, they got some really serious stuff. They got some lighthearted stuff. They got some freaking amazing fights. Like, it's got pretty much anything you need if you give it a shot. But for regular shows, it kind of depends on the mood. Again, if I'm feeling like something funny, dude, Arrested Development or Parks and Rec, South Park. There's just so many to choose from. Uh, all pretty good. I do like some dramas too. I'd say Breaking Bad is probably the best drama I've seen if you'd classify it as a drama. But Breaking Bad is probably one of the best shows I ever watched. I will say the best show to date that I've ever watched is Naruto. Um, Especially if you just totally forget about Boruto. It's actually a fucking amazing story that has a great climax, and it just gets more and more wild as it goes on. Naruto is just it's an epic journey throughout the entire show, start to finish.
What about Naruto and Breaking Bad do you know of that make it such a good show? If you can like pinpoint it or have like one good theme about it.
Oh, for Naruto, it's definitely more so in just you watching a little kid grow up and attain his dream, and it was just takes you heart and soul. You start to get a lot of background on the character, you start to feel for them, and then you get to watch them grow up and progress, and it's just interesting to see how that goes down. And he fights all these different adversaries.
What about Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad definitely similar attraction with kind of watching a character progress, but in this case it's not a kid.
What would you say on the regular basis is like what you do 24/7? Like any given day, you're like, oh, I don't mind doing this.
Oh, any given day will definitely be going to the gym. It doesn't matter what day it is. It doesn't matter how I'm feeling. It seems to be the only thing that I'll do super consistently. No, but pretty much just working and going to the gym are like my biggest two.
What's your favorite aspect about Night Rain that keeps you coming back to it?
Definitely just the familiar format. It's Elden Ring. It's a good multiplayer. It can be a lot of fun whenever you're killing a bunch of different bosses with your boys. But I would say probably the multiplayer aspect of Elden Ring, just like a Elden Ring I can play with friends. I don't have to worry about.
Trying to think of other questions if you have anything else you want to share.
I mean, in regards to video games, few that really get me excited to actually pop on and play them like for extended periods of time. But when I like a game, man, I'm very monogamous. I like to stick with it. I like to stay playing only that game, or if I do play other games, they're really not serious.
Any last remarks that you want to say to anybody about video games or like that entails or like something that you enjoy? John left us with some wise words of don't do drugs.
Yeah, John had a pretty solid message. I don't know if I'll have something of that effect, but do your best. Wake up and keep doing what you're doing. Don't do drugs.
Okay.
It was awesome being on the interview on the hot seat.
Watch shows if you do watch shows,